I'm your brother, Old God, from Hip Hop News Uncensored. Sitting across from me is my co-host.
What up, y'all? It's your man, Sam, and Viral Hip Hop News. Like my cuz said, man, we're in the building for a special edition of the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. We got hip hop royalty in the building this afternoon. Big Daddy Kane is in the building. God, how you doing this afternoon?
I'm great, brothers. I'm great.
Dope, man. Definitely appreciate you coming on the platform this afternoon. It's a true honor.
Yes.
Growing up in our household, man, you heard some names. It was Craig Mack, Public Enemy, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane was one of them, man. So this is a true honor to have you on here. How's everything? How you feeling right now? We got COVID-19 to the left of us. We got all this social injustice and rioting and protesting to the left of us. How are you feeling right now, given everything that's going on?
I'm not too concerned about that. I think I'm more concerned about walking out this room and my 7-year-old shooting me with that Nerf gun again. That's what's happening in my household right now.
Word. So what's the biggest adjustment you had to make, man, with your schedule with the COVID-19? Obviously sitting in the house more, a lot of the venues and things are being closed. What was the biggest adjustment you had to make, would you say?
You just said it. Just really just being home. A while ago I did a stay-at-home concert down in my basement.
Mm-hmm.
Like me and my DJ rocked out, did all the hits and whatnot. That went very well. We plan on doing it again. We're gonna probably do it again. I'm gonna see if I can get my band to come this time. But other than that, just relaxing, spending time with the family, Like I said, before we got into this, me and little man was rolling around with Nerf guns shooting at each other, man. So, it's all good.
Brother, what's your health regimen like to have a 7-year-old? Because I got a 4-year-old. I'm 37. I'm a little younger than you. And she runs me to death. He has a baby. He about to get ran to death. You got a 7-year-old. I know you were running. So how do you take care of yourself to still have the energy and the stamina to still be able to run around with a baby like that?
Oh, I don't have bad eating habits, for one. So I eat pretty healthy. And then other than that, just trying to detox, when necessary. I think that's something very important, whether it's a 10-day thing, a 20-day thing, I think, a good detox is always very important,
Word.
Being one of the pioneers in hip hop, how do you feel now? How do you like the way the game has progressed now? How do you feel about it from where it started to where it is right now?
Musically, it's a lot different than what I'm accustomed to hearing. But, I love seeing, these young artists making money and, being on, so many, amazing platforms. I think that's beautiful. Young cats get a chance to, make some money, get their parents, out the hood, to, nice home or something like that. I think that's beautiful, and then there's a lot of cats that's changing the game in their own little unique way. Like the Migos, Rhapsody, J. Cole, I think that, that's cool,
Given the time, or back in, I'm going to say like the late 80s, early 90s, you heard a lot of conscious hip hop. You heard a lot of storytelling of what's going on out here socially. And obviously, given the circumstances of what's going on out here socially, you see a lot of artists getting back to that. Do you see a resurgence in that? And are you excited to see that come back into the forefront? It's never went anywhere, but to the forefront.
I like how you did that. I think it's beautiful, and I hope that it's not just a trend, because that's one thing that I've noticed here lately, that a lot of things that you see artists do is basically what's trending, and right now, I don't want people to turn it into something where being conscious becomes a trend, just something here for the moment while people upset. I think that this is something that's important, where you're using your voice to speak to your fan base, alert them, educate them on what's happening in the world, and have them take a stance against police brutality and all this other madness, racism and everything else, man.
Absolutely.
100% agreed. Who are some of Big Daddy Kane's influences? I don't think I ever heard that.
Well, I mean, growing up, I was a big fan. I'll say fan and student of Grandmaster Caz from the Cold Brothers. I was fans of Melly Mel, um, Cool Mo D, you know. And then, I had like a lot of like Muhammad Ali, Marvin Gaye, Barry White, James Brown. Yeah.
I remember watching Hip Hop Evolution on Netflix, and I remember watching the episodes of New York and the rise. And then I remember seeing the transition where it kind of changed a little bit, and some of y'all were mad. I don't know if you were directly mad, but some of y'all were upset at MC Hammer when he came in the game, where he kind of showed a different style, and it was a little more of the dance style. And some people said that they kind of messed the game up. How did you feel about MC Hammer when he came in initially?
I danced on stage. I mean, me, Scoop, and Scrap would dance on stage. I was doing that too before Hammer came, so we have no reason to be upset with him. I mean, I thought Hammer was dope. I thought he had an amazing stage show. I thought he had a very amazing stage show.
Could you talk about being one of the first artists to mix R&B and hip hop together?
I get you mean on records because I mean, when you go back to the 70s to the park jams when MCs are spitting, you rhyming over "Got to Be Real," that's an R&B record. You rhyming over "Good Times," that's an R&B record. You rhyming over "Rocket in the Pocket," that's a techno record. I mean, so we've always rhymed over R&B, jazz, techno, and soul music. Peace the President, that's a techno. I mean, it's a soul record, So I mean, that's something that we've always done. I mean, I don't really know how to really answer it correctly, but I mean, it's something that I think has always been a part of hip hop because I mean, all the disco breaks and all those R&B songs.
Yeah, you just recently you went over to Russia and performed over there, if I'm not mistaken, a couple months ago now. But how was that experience?
Oh, it was crazy. It was my first time ever going, and the crowd was amazing. I mean, I guess the thing that stood out the most to me, that was like wow, like had really blew my mind was like I never had a translator before. Where like I'm doing my songs, but anytime I took a break and would say something to the crowd, someone else from the DJ booth would repeat what I said in Russian. So I mean, I was just like I was just like crazy. I never experienced nothing like that before. But it was a great show. I mean, we had a lot of complications at the airport where they lost my luggage and flights got delayed, but we made it there in time to rock the house and everybody was satisfied, so I was, really happy with the turnout.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that whole because the Russia and United States, their relationship is sort of compromised. Did you have any other issues besides what you experienced at the airport, getting to Russia, and obviously the people love you over there, but did you have any other issues dealing with Russia?
Nah, I mean, it was like everything was pretty much cool.
Okay.
Because I mean, like the lady in baggage claim, she had a little funky attitude, but I couldn't really say that was a racist or an American thing because it was one of the Russian promoters that was mainly talking to her. So she was acting more funky to him than me. So I mean, so I can't really say that it was like that, And I mean, I've heard stories, but I mean, when I went over there, it was pretty cool. We had a good time, man.
Can you talk about battle rap and the difference? I heard you say you like one of your favorite ones was "Good's the Animal" a couple of years back. Can you talk about the difference between battle rap back then and battle rap now, if you may?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, back in the days, when we battled, like say for example, if you pulled up the Kumo D Busy B battle from Harlem World, you see that you went against each other and dissing each other just like they do now, but it was on a beat, or even if you was outside, up at somebody's school, up in the lunchroom, you would be a cappella, but you would still be, to the beat, you'd still be flowing. Today, the battle raps are more like spoken word. You know, it's done more like poetry. You know, which I mean, I get, you know, from the point of now you get to hear every single thing, you know, because back then, you know, you might have missed something that I said, you know, I mean, because we going straight to the, you know, to the rhythm of the beat, you know. So I mean, I get that, but I mean, see, the thing I guess what made it harder back then was like, you know, you can't none of that stopping stuff, like how they stop, then stop. You stop, that's the end of your verse.
Right.
You know, you could your best shit could have been coming up next, but you know, that's it. That's the end of your verse, you know.
You see a difference though, because the rap battles that you guys had back in the day, you're talking about your stars having rap battles, where so not so much. I don't want to say that the battle rappers now aren't stars, because they definitely are, but they're stars in their own lane. They're not out here getting radio play like you guys were back in the day.
Well, no, I mean, I was just giving Mo D and Busy B as an example where, you know, something that you can easily go to YouTube and find, you know. But I mean, no, I mean, like in high school, you know, I mean, you know, cats from different high schools used to come up to my school to battle me. I battle cats in the lunchroom. We go to park jams. You know, I mean, yeah, stuff like that. You know, and I mean, you know, sometimes it would be with the DJ rocking on the turntables of Park Jam. Get on, we battle over a beat. Sometimes I might, you know, be out on the side of your schoolyard, and it's just us around a crowd with no music. But you know, we still was flowing to whatever beat was in our head. You know, it wasn't spoken word.
Right. Would you want to see more? I know personally, I'd rather see more of our favorite artists, if they have a disagreement, go at each other lyrically and dispute it out lyrically, to where there wasn't anything physically involved, or wasn't any social media nonsense involved. You don't see it as much as that anymore. What do you think about that? Them kind of going towards the phones as opposed to going at each other lyrically. Do you miss that? What do you feel about that?
Yeah, I miss it completely, man. I had made a comment about it somewhere, maybe like a year or two ago, you know, where I basically said, you know, a lot of artists are scared to take a lyrical ass weapon. You know, I mean, is the, you know, with the fear of, you know, losing on the mic, you know, they find it a whole lot easier to threaten someone's life, you know, like, yo, you know, forget hip hop. You say something about me, we gonna have problems, you know, yada yada. And, you know, they it's like, you know, that's how you feel, then you know you should just go be a gangster, man. Go be a gangster. Don't even mess with music, man. You know, because I mean, if you really into hip hop and you respect the culture, you know that, you know, hey man, you know, you got cats like the Cold Crush Brothers, fantastic five that battle each other for a low sum of money. And you know, the winner is the only one that's getting paid. But you know, both of these groups might end up riding the train back home together. You know?
Could you talk about working with Quincy Jones? You had a lot of high praise to talk about, you know, a couple of videos that I seen you with working with Quincy Jones.
I mean, it was amazing. I mean, that was the first time in my life that I actually ever was really produced, you know. And when I say that I was produced, what I mean is told what to do, given direction, you know, where I mean, you know, Quincy is like, you know, what you know about Dizzy Gillespie. Oh, he's such and such and such and such and such. You know, Miles Davis. We used to call him, you know, this and that, boom, boom, boom. And then he brought in black encyclopedias, which I didn't even know existed. Yeah, he brought in about 40 goddamn books, you know, with nothing but black history in all of them, you know. And we're sitting there reading about Sarah Vaughan, Ella Fitzgerald, Miles Davis, and he's telling me his experiences with them from back in the days. And, you know, I'm putting that in rap form. And then, you know, he's like, yo, do some more of the fast stuff, do some more, because it's like, you know, Ella Fitzgerald, you know, her scatting thing reminds me of that fast flow that you do. So put some more of that in there, you know. So he was actually producing me. You know, I thought it was amazing. Yeah.
What's some of the best advice that you've gotten throughout entertainment, maybe by one of your cohorts? Because you were around some of the most greatest MCs that ever touched the microphone and some of the greatest talents that ever were in music. So what's some of the best advice, and by who, did you ever receive in your career?
I think, you know, when it came to stage, you know, I had, you know, Dougie Fresh, who like when I only had a single out, I didn't even have Half-Steppin out then. You know, he was telling me, like, you know, he was saying like a lot of rappers listen to, like, you know, Run DMC, Grandmaster Flash, and the Furious Five, and they learn from them. but he liked to go out the box, and he learned from Michael Jackson, Earth, Wind and Fire, Pink Floyd. You know, and he showed me video concerts of them performing. So that's when I started like really thinking out the box and watching Marvin Gaye, James Brown and the Famous Flames, Barry White, you know, those type of performances to try to incorporate those elements into my stage show because they had never been done in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know, R&B and soul stuff. So that was some great advice. And then also like one time Morris Day, you know, he said that, you know, a lot of people get into this here music business and forget that that's two words. So take care of your music, but also take care of your business. You know, and that, yeah, that one hit real deep. You know, yeah.
Your experience working and knowing Tupac, if you can get into that.
Well, Tupac was a real good dude, man. That I really had a lot of respect for. I mean, you know, when I first met him and he was young, still just dancing for Digital Underground. And I just did an interview with Money B from Digital, and he told me that was Tupac's actual first tour. Because he said that they toured overseas when Humpty Dance came out, but Pac wasn't with them. So when they came back to America, that's when Pac got with them for my Chocolate City tour. And you know, meeting him, you know, I mean, you know, him, Pac and Money B hanging with Scoob and Scrap, they wilding out every night. And then I remember the first conversation me and Pac had when he told me that you know, he was an MC coming out with his own stuff. He was like, it's not nothing like what you do with Digital. He's like, my stuff is more serious, you know, I'm talking about this and that, you know. And he spit something for me, I believe he spit something for me, and it sounded dope, you know. And I just tried to get a brother some encouraging words. And then, you know, years later when I saw him, you know, he was doing this thing. I think that's when he came to my show at Madison Square Garden when he was filming Above the Rim. Him and Biggie came together. You know, that's when that 838s, 99s, 10 Mac, that rhyme come from. So I did it at the Garden. And I mean, we got to chop it up a little bit that night about his success and everything. But I mean, you know, Pac was always my dude. Somebody I always had respect for. Good brother, you know, real good brother.
Can you get a little bit into the evolution of the drug game in the rap game now? Obviously, it's a lot different now than it was then. Or back in the day when we were kids, they were selling it. Now that we're adults, they're doing it. You talk a little bit about even just how the drug game influences hip hop then and now.
I mean, well, yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, because it's like, you know, back then, you know, all the, you know, the big hustlers, you know, they be out blasting, you know, their favorite hip hop, songs and albums and stuff like that. And it was like, you know, there was a sort of fashion, you know, that was going on where it's like, you know, this is what we putting on camera for Rap City and Video Music Box and Yo MTV Rap. So, you know, you got these ballers that's, you know, wearing all the Dapper Dan Gucci stuff and that this type of stuff. And then also, you know, it's like the money that was put in because the cats that was hustlers, you know, they spent a whole lot of money in hip hop. You know, like we have concerts, you know, they might, you know, one dude might buy 20 tickets for his whole crew to come. You know? So, I mean, there was definitely a deep connection. And I think the hip hop artists made a lot of money from off, you know, cats that was getting money on the streets, you know. I mean, I think, you know, now, you know, it's a different type of thing because now you got a lot of cats that's talking about using drugs. Right. Back then, you know, even though we probably made a lot of money from drug dealers, you had artists that were talking about staying off drugs, you know, not messing with drugs. Now, you know, it's like you have a lot of, you know, rappers that talk about using drugs. So, you know, that's like, you know, a trendy thing and something that, you know, the youth gravitate to listen.
Would you say not just listen to? Would you say that influences kids to also pick up some of those same drugs that those rappers now promote in your estimation?
I believe that happens. That's what I meant, you know.
Okay.
So, I mean, in your opinion, do the rappers, because some people are just they're rapping and portraying their life. They're doing what they're talking about, doing what they do. So in that we can understand. But some people are openly just influencing other people to do it. Some rappers have openly admitted in not doing some of the drugs that they promote, some of their lyrics. So do you think that there's a responsibility that some rappers, especially now, have to give the right message to children?
Well, you know, it's like this, you know, as an adult, you should know right from wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not going to sit here, you know, point no fingers and whatnot. You know, I think that's a law's job. You know, and as far as any of these cats go, I mean, you know, what we say is you either going to be rewarded or penalized for your ways and actions. So again, I'm gonna leave that up to a law. You know, I mean, you know, but I just know that, you know, I don't condone promoting drug use.
How do you feel about now KRS-One and Rakim at this day and age?
What do you mean how I feel about them?
I know you had you said you wanted to battle just a few years back.
Oh, KRS?
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that would have been so dope. You know, it's just that, you know, we were, you know, we became good friends, and you know, him and Shan, they had their thing going on, but me and Chris was real cool, and me and Shan, our relationship wasn't that tight at the time back then, you know. So I just, you know, stayed out of it. But it's like, as a battle rapper, KRS-One is like someone that I truly, truly respect that way. You know, I think he's amazing as a battle rapper. You know, I mean, he's amazing as a lyricist. You know, and I think that Rakim is amazing as a lyricist. You know, Cool G Rap as well. You know, amazing lyricist.
Who's your top five now? If you will put them in order from top 1 to 5.
With myself, I would say.
Okay.
I would say me, Rakim, me, Rakim, wow, that's a tough one, man. I mean, it would be like KRS, Nas, G-Rap. It's like those would be the main ones. I mean, you know, I mean, it's like whatever order you want to put them in, man. You know?
So who are you listening to now, like new in the game?
J. Cole. I like J. Cole. Yeah, I think he's real dope. Dude got bars.
The battle for rap supremacy, KRS-One versus MC Shan. You reminded me of that when you said that. Did you referee that joint, if I'm not mistaken?
What you talking about, the commercial?
Was it just the commercial, or was it the actual battle? I don't even remember.
No, I mean, they did a Sprite commercial where they battle, and that was Mr. Magic referee.
Oh, yeah, okay.
yeah.
Speaking of that, man, Hollywood, it makes me think, I would have thought that I would have seen you in way more movies, given the iconic figure that you were in hip hop, and your voice is so legendary. Like, you could have been on in Coke 45 commercials. And shit like that was, I mean, I thought that I would see more of you on Hollywood. Did you ever get more into acting, anything like that? What's up with your acting career?
Yeah, I mean, well, you know, it was like I just got accepted off of this movie for TV One and a role in an episode of Power Book, and then next thing you know, I was told we got to stay in the house, and when we go out, we got to put a mask on.
Mm-hmm.
So production was shut down, so we're just waiting to see when things gonna open back up and get back to work. But yeah, there are 2 roles out there waiting for me, and there was a third one that I didn't even get a chance to even read for because they shut down production before, you know, he even did the reading. So I mean, yeah.
So Hollywood is in acting is something that you definitely want to take part in. You're actively getting in the role.
Yeah, absolutely, by all means.
So,
what are some other business ventures that you got involved with over your career that you care to share with the people?
I mean, you know, I do a little of this. I do a little of that.
Hey.
Yeah, yeah. All legal, you know.
Word.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
A hustler will always be a hustler. We'll never know all the secrets. We'll never know all the secrets. What's some of the roles that you would like to play ideally? What's some of the roles that you would like to take part of if you could choose some?
I just had this conversation with somebody a couple of nights ago. They thought I was crazy until I really broke it down. Now, I would really like to remake Blackula. You know, I mean, I may have missed the calling because, you know, Twilight and them type of vampire movies ain't popping no more. But yeah, I would love to remake Blackula because to me that was always like the greatest love story ever told. You know, I just thought that was, you know, where you're a black prince and you know you see your your princess slain by a racist vampire that, you know, bites you on the neck and puts you in a box, and then you wake up, you know, 100 years later in the 70s, you know, new time, and you find a woman that looks exactly like her, like you found your princess again. You fall in love all over again. You don't bite her. You take your time. You know, you take your time, spit that ism, and y'all work things out, and y'all fall in love. And right when she's willing to go with you, you know, the police, you know, because the police shoot her, so you had to bite her, put her in your coffin to be safe, and, you know, police stake her in the coffin. And all this is happening underground in a train station. And, you know, with what we know from movies, you know, about vampires, you know, they can't be in sunlight. But in the underground train station, you know, shit, Black don't need no coffin. He could have stayed up all week killing cops. You know what I'm saying? He could have stayed up all week down there in the train station killing cops for what they did to his woman. But he decided he didn't want to live without his woman, so he just walked out into the sunset and burnt up. That ain't love for your ass. I don't know what is, man.
It sounds like some Jordan Peele shit too. You never know, that could come back.
Yeah. That's something I'd love to do, though. Yeah.
Sound crazy.
Yeah, Barry White, working with Barry White. Can you talk about that just a little bit?
The legend.
Oh, Barry was my dude, man. Barry was my dude. You know, real cool dude. You know, our birthdays like 2 days apart. I'm September 10th. He's September 12th, man. And yeah, I mean, we sit there and, you know, just talk about all types of stuff, man. But I mean, he was a very informative brother that always tried to educate and then, you know, end off with a joke, you know. He tell you something real deep, you know, to think about. And then, you know, he end off with a joke and we sit there laughing and he just, ha, 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 Daddy Kane, show you right. That was my dude, man. I really miss him. I miss him a lot, man. Yeah.
So what's next for you, man? What's next for Big Daddy Kane? I know it's, you know, not a lot going on, obviously, until things get going on. But once everything's open back up, what's your plans for the future?
You know, get back out here. Definitely. I'm looking forward to starting with this movie role and with this television role, and you know, go do some shows, man. You know, probably, you know, put some joy in people's life, man. Make some people smile and have a good time again, man. Because, you know, this has been so chaotic, you know. But yeah, that's definitely in the plans, and you know, and also, you know, I would really want to, you know, play a deeper part in this whole movement, man, that's going on right now, because I think is right now, you know, voices need to be heard, and brothers that's willing to need to step up. You know, I'm not holding nobody accountable, but as I said, brothers that's willing to need to step up. You know, I just put a song out last week called Enough, featuring Chuck D from Public Enemy and Lauren Oden that sings with Adrian Young, and you know, I'm you know, beginning to start promoting that, because all the proceeds go to Until Freedom, which is the foundation that Tamika Mallory and my son General, you know, they have. because I really love the work that they're doing on the front line, and what they're doing to fight for justice and equality, because they're going from state to state, to try to make sure that these people family get justice for all this here madness that's going on, man. So I mean, supporting their cause, and everything it's just raggedy in the world. I mean, I really want do more of that.
Absolutely. We got the legendary Big Daddy Kane and the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast this afternoon. Y'all go ahead and hit that like button, that 5-star rating, wherever you're watching or you're listening right now. We do appreciate you. Man, we don't have much more for you. We definitely appreciate your time. As you exit, what advice could you give to the people, some aspiring rappers right now, somebody that may be just struggling, confused as to what they see of going on right here, with some of the words of wisdom that they can get from Big Daddy Kane?
Well, I mean, one thing I would always tell you is I say, be yourself, man. Be true to yourself, man. Give the people the real you. Don't get caught up in no trend, because when that trend is gone, you gone. Make your fan base respect you for the real you. Let them see what's in your heart, And I'll give them the same advice, that Morris Day gave me, that, music business is 2 words. So, make sure you take care of your music, but also take care of your business.
Absolutely.
Definitely. We appreciate it, man. Once again, Big Daddy Kane, the legend, in the building today, coming through the podcast to bless us with some great stories, man. Go ahead and drop your social media, your Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for the people, if you may, please.
Oh, yeah. Instagram, Facebook, at official Big Daddy Kane, and my Twitter is just, Big Daddy Kane.
God, we appreciate your time. Yeah. Definitely.
My pleasure, brothers. I love that wall. That wall is mean back there.
We got to get you in here so you can see it all the way. It ain't doing no justice right now. We got. We're gonna show you a little bit. Got this joint done by man Angel, does our tattoos out in Violent, New Jersey. But
not much you can see. Yeah, that's hard.
You got Big Ed on there right now. Yeah,
I love it. Okay. Yeah. No, that's amazing, man. That's some beautiful work there.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it, man. Got our own studio out in South Jersey. Doing our thing. If you're ever out in the South Jersey area, Atlantic City, doing the show, please stop on by. We'd love to have you back on to have the conversations. It'd be dope.
Absolutely. It'd be my pleasure, gentlemen.
Appreciate you, brother.
Peace, brother.
All right. Peace.
Take care.
All right, bet.